It is the 10th of July 1940. Admiral Yamamoto is hunting, and we know where the Americans are, but so far they're refusing to come out of port. We do have the task force. It seems to have been redesignated, so we do have a task force 7 operating over here in the port in the Bismarck Sea. And this is the task force that we're trying to get out of port. And in order to do that, Yamamoto has reassigned 2 Auber-class cruisers that are somewhat outdated to bait them out of port. Now, these extremely brave soldiers are not going to just be bait or kamikaze as they are designated, but are actually backed up by a very sizable force, because Carrier Group 1 is on strike force and is lurking in the Caroline Islands and just waiting to get ready. On the larger strategic objective, we need to we are trying to evict the Americans from some of the small islands. They have captured an island here in the Marshall Islands. We need to get that back. And we also obviously we have taken Guam from them already. We still need to take Wake Island. But in order to push them back out of these island chains here and isolate Australia, we're going to need to clear out the larger American task forces, and that is the Kantai-Kessen, the large battle that we're trying to initiate here. On the less fortunate side, we are starting to have a slight logistics problem because we are short on infantry equipment. And we have tried to get some lend-lease from the Germans and the Italians, but I've done some reading, and I think this is slightly bugged, because I don't think it's supposed to use convoys that are used otherwise. So it was absorbing all trade convoys, which means that my whole industry would grind to a halt. So I can't really do that at the moment. And also it would take a month for the delivery to get there. So while this would be very nice, I can't really do that at the moment because it would impact, because I don't have enough convoys. It would impact the trade, which means we're going to have to get ourselves out of that. Which means our production of infantry equipment is currently at 49%. It can go up to 80% production efficiency, so this will increase. At the same time, obviously, the resistance itself is increasing too, because we see like certain areas here have growing resistance, which means that we are actually taking losses. So if we're looking at the occupied territories here in our garrison log, in the last 12 months, we have lost 2,560 guns and 17,000 manpower. Manpower is not the problem, because we're not even sending our own people there, because we are just using our puppet states to garrison these places. But the equipment is a problem, because it also obviously impacts garrison efficiency, and it impacts my division recovery. On the other fronts, we need more oil. When did Japan ever not need more oil? Now, the problem is that we're moving this large Carrier Group 1, we're moving this very large Carrier Group 1, it needs a lot of fuel. And the fuel that we're having is only good for maybe a week or so of Yamamoto operating. So that severely hampers the speed in which we can make things happen here. Which means we are currently planning to take. So that's one reason. The other reason, we're currently planning to take over Iraq, because there's some oil fields here. But I am not sure what that British flag is doing there. Probably because the British were effectively operating those. I don't know if that means that the British are getting them, but I'm going to push one. I'm going to push one more country ahead. That gets us at a direct border with the British, and it allows us to hopefully cut them off from their oil supply. We already have borders here with the Soviets, so this actually means we may have to start moving a second we're going to start moving our task forces into place at some point if we are going to attack the Soviet Union once that war kicks off. But that's probably not yet going to happen. The Germans are still holding and are still busy. They've just conquered Norway, so they are still somewhat busy in doing what they're doing. How does it look in Africa, actually? It looks like the Italians are holding. I think that's because the British have lost probably a fair amount of troops to us. Let's have a look. How many British have we taken out? Where are the British? It's Australia, United States. Oh, there it is, United Kingdom. Yeah, we've inflicted 144,000 casualties, about half of what the Italians have inflicted on the ground. And I would assume that has somewhat impacted the British's capability of fighting in Africa. Let's see if we know. Yeah, we know very little about their army, but they still have a sizable amount of divisions. So, we're still gonna have a fight in front of us there. Okay, how does the supply look like here? It looks dreadful. This is not unsurprising. There's no supply up north here. But yeah, we're moving our troops into place, and hopefully around the coastline this gets a little better, and then we will take this over. But then I think most of the army operations are going to come to a halt. We might continue doing some smaller operations here in the islands. So we are preparing some naval invasions here just to clear up some more islands. How far along are these? 2 out of 7 days, and this one is 2 out of 3 days. So in 1 day we can already start shipping some more troops over. We can also start planning a naval invasion from here, probably to the port of Makassar. We've got only 1 division assigned here, so do we have some more naval divisions? We have some more naval divisions in the homelands. We can get this one assigned here as well. Yeah, they're coming into port, so we can assign them to that as well. That gives us 2 divisions, and then we're moving some more divisions here. Okay, so we should have an invasion force going there. We have cleared out the troops in the Philippines that aren't in use, and we obviously have we are moving these 2 naval divisions already over to the Marshall Islands to prepare for the next ones. But yeah, we do have 5 naval divisions stationed in the home islands and a couple more regular divisions. So these are reserves that we can use. And then obviously we've got the troops stationed along the borders here for a potential invasion of the Soviet Union. And the supporting countries here when it comes to that. All right, what else do we need to check? Let's go through our generals, because I haven't done that in a while. Our field marshal does not have anything. We've got Yamashita. He could get the guerrilla fighter, but I'm not feeling that quite yet. I'm more thinking of getting one of the other traits here if we can. And that's the same story here. And I think Imamura is not having something here either. No. Okay, cool. And I don't think our defensive troops necessarily have anything. No. So the defensive troops haven't done an awful lot of fighting so far. After the Chinese War, so that's not like. So 5 days until we can start Iraq, and so which means the big one is this one here. So we are waiting for. Where are they? We are waiting for this. Yeah, we're waiting for this group to. We're currently sailing through the Mariana region, which means we actually have to assign both regions. Yeah. Okay. So we're sailing them through the Marianas. And we're trying to, but we'll remove that from the active assignment of the First Fleet once the bait is in place. So just want to make sure that they are. I want them to actually move all the way to the Carolines. Okay, so they are moving to the Carolines, and then just in case they get intercepted here, that I have Yamamoto sailing out if that happens. Okay, air. Let's review the air very briefly. We've got all the air in place that we can. We do have our scout planes operating in the region, so we should have a pretty good idea where everybody is. So let's keep going. And just okay, we've done another port strike. Yeah, we are harassing them from the air. We have done a bit of, we've done a decent amount of damage to the USS West Virginia. We are running continuous air harassment, but what we're trying to achieve is to lure them out of port. So maybe I should actually stop that, because if they get too damaged, we might take them off port strikes for now. That's just a fighter wing. So we'll take the tactical bombers off the port strikes and let them recover a little bit as well. We just have them on the fighters on interception in case anything happens, and we've got two fighter wings here on interception as well. Although I'm not sure. No, this one's actually on standby, so that one also needs to be an interception. Okay. And we've got more tactical bomber wings here who are not actually doing something. So these guys are standing by. They have port strikes for Marianas, so they can do naval strikes in the Marianas just in case anybody shows up here. And we have these wings doing. Actually, this is a naval bomber wing. They need to also do naval strike. In here, that is a naval bomber wing. They're doing naval strikes. I am trying to harass the invasion support force, because there are some ships here in the region that are doing invasion support. But yeah, construction. We're going to need some more military factories because once again the whole gun situation is not good. So we are going to pull some more military factories up. We are currently working on getting the national defense state, which will change our war economy, which will change us to total mobilization, which is going to increase the military factory construction speed and half the consumer goods. So currently we are we've got 42 factories going into consumer goods out of all the factories we have. And that hopefully should be halved. So then we have some more factories to get all this construction underway here, because there's still a lot of things that we need to do. All right. So let's get back to observing. Let's go back up to observing these ships. And have they made their way there? Where are they? Oh, they're here. No, you're not supposed to be operating there. You're supposed to move. Okay, I'm not going to put you on convoy rating yet. I'm going to just move you to the Carolines. Okay. So otherwise they might stop somewhere. All right. Somebody mentioned that that we need more videos because on 2-speed it's going to take too long. The reason I'm running this on 2-speed, and I know that for some people, let me quickly check the. This is American troop convoys. Are they still trying to invade us? I don't think so. And freighters. The reason I'm running this on 2-speed is because I don't want to miss anything, especially the naval battles. I find that very exciting. So that's why I'm running this on a relatively slow speed. And of course, it's going to take a while, but we might have a bit of a lull while we are. Okay, Tora, what was that? I can't quite remember what that was, but we've just lost it. So yeah, we've got. Yep, we've got everything. No, I can't remember what that was, but it's definitely something. Do we have ships operating in the Philippine Sea? Do we have air in the Philippine Sea? No, we don't. I might, in that case, take one air wing back here and get one of the tactical bomber wings over here and get them to operate in in the Philippine Sea. Yeah, just to make sure nothing weird happens. Where's my bait? Where are they? There. Okay, so they're almost in port. The 2 Aubas. So, oh, are they moving? I'm not sure if they're... No, I think they're still in port. Okay. Convoy radar, we have sunk 4 American troop convoys. Not sure what they're doing off the coast of Japan, really. And even the Siamese Empire is helping out, so that's much appreciated. And these are just convoys as well, and that's that. Okay, so we have... we almost have them in port, so let's wait until they get in port. Okay, they are in port now, which means the First Fleet is no longer going to operate... in... Okay, Yamamoto is trying to intercept something British there. No, that's not what I want right now. I want that region removed, active in 1 region. So Carrier Group 1 is standing by. Stay in port, please, Yamamoto. Do not I'll put you on hold. And back on strike force. Okay, so ignore these British destroyers up north. That's a Polish division of destroyers. We don't want the whole First Fleet chasing after those. What we do want, however, is we want these guys on convoy raid in this area, and hopefully they will get out, and then we want them on strike force. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. They're still planning a naval invasion on the Carolines. We have, yes, obviously we know that the Task Force 7 is down south here, which is what we're trying to intercept. We still know that this is the Atlantic Reserve of destroyers, and we know that there's this Polish-British light cruiser group operating in this area. So let's run this and see if this happens. Okay, they are on the move. I want to see what they are doing. Are they going to come out? Okay. Yes, it worked. Okay, Yamamoto is intercepting the United States Task Force. I think they came out, seeing our bait, and Yamamoto is on the intercept. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. All right. I'm going to slow it down to 1 speed because I want to watch that. The Kantai-Kessen is about to begin, at least one of them. All right, here we go. We have Yamamoto's first Carrier Group 1 versus Admiral Ale Burke. Yamamoto is fielding 6 battleships, including Tosa, 3 battle cruisers, 2 heavy cruisers, 4 carriers, the best fleet carriers we can currently offer, 53 destroyers and 19 light cruisers, versus on the American side we have the USS Texas, we have the New York, the West Virginia, the Maryland, and we have the Vincennes, Portland, Quincy, and Pensacola, with a consignment of light cruisers. This is not the big battle group that I've seen earlier operating in the Marianas, but this is definitely a battle group that is large enough that I think it will be... Once we have that defeated, hopefully we are clear somewhat in the Bismarck Sea and can then try to track down that other battle group after Yamamoto has done some repairs, because they have no air cover. So let's see how much damage we can do. All right, let's go. So fighters obviously not really useful right now, but we have torpedo bombers out, and I would not be surprised if the Americans are going to turn tail. But currently they're just jockeying for position, and the respective battle lines are engaging. Okay, USS Texas is already trying to disengage. The same for the Portland. They haven't even taken any hits yet. And also they have noticed that they've run into a trap that Yamamoto just sprung. So the big question is, can we get any hits in, and can we get through the screening forces and get to the actual big targets? We do have some, I believe we have some Yeah, we've got Mogami herself and a couple of Mogami class cruisers. So they should be able to get through that line relatively quickly. Okay, we've sunk 3 destroyers. We're trying to get to the big ones. Right now, the big ships have not taken any damage, and they are trying to escape, while the screening forces are sacrificing themselves in order to slow down the Japanese advance. They have, no one here. Okay, let's see. USS Maryland has already been hammered by the heavy guns. Has anybody else been damaged? The West Virginia has been taken a couple of hits as well. And the New York has taken hit. Yeah, the New York has taken hits as well. I don't think they will manage to get away from this. We have already sunk the Pensacola. Yamashiro has taken her out. And we have sunk the Maryland, sunk by the Nagato. This is our first battleship, first victory against the battleships in this war, I believe. So more to come, I think. Let's see. USS Texas. Texas is already at. Texas is still at full strength and hasn't taken any hits. The New York and the West Virginia are not looking so great. The West Virginia has been hit by some torpedo bombers, but the battleships are doing the heavy lifting right now. So we'll see if they can manage to escape. The heavy cruisers are a little bit faster than the battleships, but Vincennes and Portland are both looking in a very rough shape. The USS Quincy is still kind of all right, but is trying to get out of there. And New York doesn't look too great. The USS Texas has only taken a couple of glancing shots so far. But the light cruisers and the destroyers are falling relatively quickly. So far, no losses on the Japanese side. Yep. We'll deal with that soonish. So far, we've sunk Vincennes, Portland, Pensacola. The Quincy is still trying to escape, and so are the 3 battleships. But the USS New York looks like she's taking on a lot of water because she is not in a good shape. Texas and West Virginia may be able to escape. We will see. How much the light forces are trying to disengage as well, and we'll just keep an eye on if we get anybody else out. I think the carrier groups are striking again. We have lost one of our destroyers. That is acceptable, but the New York has been sunk by Akagi. And we've sunk 11 destroyers so far on the American side. I don't know if these 2 battleships will make it out of there. The West Virginia is heavily damaged, but I think Texas might be able to escape. We will see about that. So that is the new. That was one of the cruisers, I believe. Was that the Quincy or the Portland? But our battleships are definitely doing the heavy lifting once again here. Come on, one more hit on the West Virginia, and then we've got that one as well. I mean, either way, she's out of the war for a while. Okay, the USS Texas has escaped, but New York, West Virginia, and Maryland have been sunk. West Virginia has taken a lot. Yeah, the naval bombers. There was a sortie from the carriers. The naval bombers have done some severe damage. They've also lost the Richmond, sunk by the Shiratsuyu with torpedoes. And now it's just a matter of cleaning up the light screening forces and see if anybody else can manage to get out of there. One of our destroyers is disengaging, probably taken too much damage. But the light cruisers are now falling as well. Trenton, Richmond, and Thomas E. Fraser have been sunk by Yuga, Kuma, and the Shiratsuyu, like we said earlier, with torpedoes. So let's see if these destroyers can manage to disengage. One of them has made it out of there after taking a critical strike, and I think 2 destroyers, 1 light cruiser have managed to escape. A couple more destroyers are disengaging. Two more destroyers are in the battle, but I think they might have been able to get away. All right, let's see the overall tally. We have lost 4 torpedo bombers and 1 destroyer. The Americans have lost 3 battleships, the New York, the West Virginia, and the Maryland. They've lost 4 heavy cruisers that they brought along. the Vincennes, the Portland, the Quincy, and the Pensacola. They have lost 4 light cruisers and 22 destroyers. In total, escaped 5 destroyers, the USS Texas, and a bunch of light cruisers, but most of them in various state of heavy damage. So that, I would say, was what I would call a successful operation. And we've sunk a convoy. So the strike group has actually managed to sink a convoy as well. And yeah, that was a very successful sortie, I would say. We've also sunk another bunch of troop convoys. All right, that should. What we are going to do now is see if we get our tactical bomber wings back on port strikes. Because if these guys are retreating into port, then we might be able to catch them from the air and finish off the heavily damaged ships that have been left over. What have we done here? Where? Oh, we've sunk. Okay, what do we got here? The Oklahoma and 11 destroyers. Well, used to be 12, now it's 11. Okay, so the naval strikes here are already doing something. And this is the Cardiff with a destroyer group. This is that Polish group that we were talking about. Not really all that interested in them right now. I don't think I am. Yeah, I don't have any screening forces up north here. So, all right. So we will not start the war against Iraq quite yet because we're completely out of fuel again. But we will also. I'm more curious to see if we can still intercept something. Okay. Carrier Group 1 is still operating in the area, and we have sunk another bunch of convoys. And I am not sure. I'm not sure if these guys are still operating here. So Carrier Group 1 is currently just on strike force in the fleet area. So we will go back to 2 speed and see if anybody makes a move here and if we can catch the rest of this force before we start the operation against Iraq. They still have 60 ships operating in the area, which means we have the naval supremacy here. But we are currently, these are just convoys, and we are currently, what is that? Oh! Some of our submarines have encountered the Oklahoma. That has taken a torpedo hit and is currently disengaging. So let's see if that actually turns out to be something. Let's see if he gets away or if they get some more torpedo hits in. The battleship's trying to escape. But it looks like she might be able to get away. Oh no, there's another torpedo hit. So she's definitely been injured. All right, so we are cleaning this up pretty comprehensively here. And there are a couple more submarines engaging the remaining forces here. Has anybody taken any damage on their side? Yeah, we've gotten a couple more torpedoes into the Texas, but the remainders of their screening force here are still operating. We've sunk one or more of their submarines. They are running out of submarines, and that was another convoy. Yeah, let's see if we can mop these guys up. Honestly, that would be kind of interesting to see if. They are trying to disengage here because, well, so do our submarines, but they haven't really even spotted the submarines. And there's the submarines again hunting the Oklahoma. So we gotta keep an eye on these two. Probably gonna keep an eye on this one first, although the submarines here are disengaging, probably due to the presence of destroyers. So let's switch over to the other one then and see if these ships are incoming. Okay, one of the heavy cruisers, the Northampton, was trying to to assist the Oklahoma. What's Carrier Group 1 doing? I mean, he's still on strike, but he doesn't seem to be moving out at this point. So let's just keep an eye on things. That's just convoys. Here, yeah. Let's see if our submarines can still do some more damage to these to this battered battleship here. Hasn't taken any damage. A couple of our destroyers have been joining, and the submarines. One of the submarines has made it to. Why are these guys joining? That's very brave of them. One of the submarines has made it to the battle line, and might be able to get a couple of torpedo hits in. We'll see. Probably not sufficient. Not sufficient to take them out. Okay, hang on. Just a quick check. All right, let's quickly check the battles here. So, oh, Yamamoto was actually back here. Was he? Yes. So Yamamoto was actually back and has finished off the Texas, the USS Honolulu, USS Fox, and 3 convoys. So he's managed to catch them, and let's see who did it. Let's see who did it. Who got the kill? The Isa has sunk a convoy. The one of the Mogamis got a hit on got the kill on the Texas and has managed to sink her. And the other ships, everyone has joined. One of our destroyers has sunk has the USS Fox, and that was that. Yeah. So that was the remnant of that battle group. So they have been wiped out. We are still chasing after the Oklahoma and that heavy cruiser here. And what? Just quickly double checking. No, that's just convoys. And that. Oh! Look who we found! Haha! Look who we found. That is the one I was after. That is the Yorktowns. What was that? Lexington, Yorktown, and 2 more carriers, plus 42 destroyers, 5 light cruisers, and 9 battleships. This is the one I was actually after. So they are actually operating here in this area now. So we're striking them from the air, but I don't have the fuel to move Yamamoto over quite yet. So we'll just mop up whatever is still busy in the Bismarck Sea. There is still something going on in that naval base here. Did I put my planes back on port strike? Yes, I did. So once we're port striking them, then we will actually know what's happening there. But yeah, let's see what happens here with this submarine group. There's another battle of the coast. These are just more American troop convoys. I really don't know what they're trying to achieve here. Are they trying to? Where are they even coming from? Are they coming from Midway? That's the only explanation I have. That they're sending unescorted troop convoys over Midway. It's not a naval invasion, so they must be just trying to relocate their troops somewhere. But yeah. Anyway, let's get back to this. These are the spottings, and we know that this other task force is operating in this area that we've been chasing earlier. So we've taken out the smaller one of the smaller part of their fleet, but now it's Philippine Sea. Who are we fighting in the Philippine Sea? There's a British light cruiser chasing our submarines. Okay, that's not particularly interesting. We'll deal with that when we get there. This is convoys. So let's get back to this one. Okay, let's see if we can still do some damage and maybe take out the Oklahoma. But I doubt it, because we only have a couple of submarines and 3 old destroyers. We might get a couple more torpedo hits in. The destroyers are firing at the Oklahoma. Oh, who's coming? Oh, they're coming in. That is the other battle group. They are joining. Okay. Yamamoto. What is Carrier Group 1 doing? Is Carrier Group 1... They are joining, because they were just operating in Eastern Micronesia, so they are joining this operation. Now, can we get... Why is Carrier Group 1 on convoy rating? They're supposed to be on strike force. Okay. These guys are supposed to be on convoy rating. Did I miss? Okay, Carrier Group 1 is on strike force. So let's see if we can get Yamamoto to join this as well, if these guys are joining. That would be the big one that we've been waiting for. Let's see. No, they're just intercepting the Oklahoma. Wait, hang on. That's this battle, right? Yes, that is the Oklahoma. So Yamamoto is trying to intercept the Oklahoma. The Lexington's carrier group is joining the fight here. But I think that was, yeah, unfortunately that was already it. They have sunk one of our destroyers. The rest of our ships has disengaged, and we have done some damage to Northampton and Oklahoma, but unfortunately they managed to disengage before Yamamoto could spot them. That said, though, and this was this convoys, Yamamoto is in hot pursuit, so this is all just stuff. Yeah, Yamamoto is in hot pursuit, so let's switch. Given that these guys, let's switch all our air into naval strikes. And make sure that if they are out in the sea, that we may be able to still intercept them. Let's see if Yamamoto can catch them. No, I think he's back to the naval base. Okay, no, that's the Oklahoma's battle group. He's back on intercepting. Let's see. That's this convoy rating. Let's see if he can manage to catch them. Okay, we've lost 7 tactical bombers trying to sink the Oklahoma. We've done some damage, but they've definitely shot the ship, shot their share down. And Yamamoto is hot on pursuit on the intercept now. Let's see if he can catch them. If he can catch them off the coast here. And let's see if the rest of the American task force is going to join that. Battle. Let's see. Just making sure I don't miss anything. That's just convoys, and that's just convoys. Okay. All right, here we go. Yamamoto in hot pursuit. We've got fuel for 12 days, but it might just be enough. Okay, Yamamoto has engaged. There we go. Okay, back to 1 speed. All right. It is Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto with Carrier Group 1 fighting Admiral Ali Burke's. Is that still past? I think this is the main battle force. This isn't even the Task Force 7 anymore. So we are fighting the Yorktown, the Enterprise, the Ranger, and the Lexington, screened by the Oklahoma, who's been already damaged quite a bit, Arizona, Mississippi, and Colorado, and Nevada, Pennsylvania, California, Idaho, New Mexico, and Arkansas. I don't know which one of them is the pride of the fleet, but hopefully it doesn't make it out of there. They are screened by 4 light cruisers, 5 light cruisers, make that 5 light cruisers, and a grand total of 42 destroyers. So we should be able to take them on, but we might take some casualties here. We definitely have the the firepower that is overwhelming on our side, but I don't know how much of an impact the air groups from the 4 fleet carriers are going to make. Obviously, these guys are the big prize. So let's go. All right. Anybody doing any damage to anyone yet? I'm going to keep an eye on things. The airstrikes are going to get out soon. And once that happens, we should be starting to see how well our fighters are going to operate. They are bringing some dive bombers in here, I believe. Okay, it's a couple of submarines joining on our side as well. Sure, I take it. No. Okay, Oklahoma is starting. Oklahoma, being the most heavily damaged ship, is already drawing some more fire, and the Nevada as well has taken some damage. The carriers are. Yorktown has been damaged by airstrikes earlier, so she's not in the greatest shape. And they are actually trying to disengage. And so the light forces are once again screening, and I think the Americans are once again trying to disengage here. Have we done any damage so far? Okay, so the USS Pennsylvania is the pride of the fleet. Is still in the fight. It's the Oklahoma who is in a terrible shape, and he's currently trying to, by the looks of it, trying to disengage together with the other 5 battleships here. 3 of the Enterprise, Ranger, and Lexington are trying to open up the distance, whereas in the Yorktown seems to be still fighting. Already 7 destroyers have been sunk. So once again, our light cruisers are proving pivotal here. Airstrikes should be coming in soon. Now, so the airstrike's gone through. The Oklahoma has been hit by a couple of torpedoes. And anybody else hit by torpedoes? The Pennsylvania has been hit by torpedoes as well. The carriers are trying to disengage, and they're going to try and sacrifice their light forces. But we'll see how much damage we can do to them before they can get away. We'll see if we can catch the carriers. One of our destroyers has been damaged in the shootout. Okay, we have sunk the Oklahoma. Nagato has taken the killing blow. And that is scratch another heavy. Most of their screening group is trying to disengage, and most of their battle group, only New Mexico is currently fighting, but is getting pummeled by the heavy guns. The carriers are still unscathed. No, actually, the Yorktown has taken a critical hit from a torpedo drop, so that's good. The other ones are still looking. Arizona doesn't look too great anymore, but the rest looks in relatively decent fighting shape. And the destroyers are falling very, very quickly, taken out by our light cruisers. We do want to try and get our torpedoes out into range. That would be great, but for that we need to make sure that the screening forces go down. 22 destroyers already sunk. The question is, can we get rid of the screening force before the carriers can escape? A critical hit on the Nevada. Not sure if that was a torpedo or one of the heavy guns, but a lot of the American heavies are taking severe damage. The carriers are trying to get away, and I think they might be able to. So far, the Enterprise now has been hit as well, and is actually worse off than the Yorktown. So she's got taken down a couple of notches, and we have sunk the Aroostook, a cruiser, sunk by the Nagato. The battleships are still trying to get away. The Arizona and the Nevada are starting to look worse for wear, and are low in the water, probably need to counterflood at this point. The carriers probably are going to get away. So all Enterprise, Ranger, and Yorktown have been hit by naval bombers. The Lexington is still unscathed, but I think the carriers might be able to get away. They've already lost 32 of their destroyers, and we'll see if we can catch more of the slow battleships before this battle is over. Because there goes the Enterprise. The Enterprise has run, but has taken some severe beating, and already 2 critical hits on the Nevada. I think she's about to go down. I don't think she's going to take that much longer. Okay, Oklahoma and Arkansas have been sunk. They've started taking torpedo damage, and because the screening force has been completely destroyed. 39 destroyers have been lost, mostly to our light cruisers, to our gun cruisers, and without that, the battleships are helpless against the torpedo attacks from our destroyers. Our fleet destroyers are pretty torpedo heavy. Unfortunately, Ranger and Enterprise have also managed to escape, so has Lexington. And I think Yorktown will make it out there as well. But the question is, how far can the battleships get before they get caught? So that's the big question here. Okay. We have the Oklahoma, Nevada, California, New Mexico, and Arkansas have been sunk. They've been taking torpedo strikes. The 4 carriers have made it out. The screening force has been lost completely in a vain attempt to try and ward off the Japanese onslaught. And the Idaho is looking in a bad shape as well. Okay, we have sunk. We've sunk the Idaho. We have sunk Arkansas, New Mexico, Idaho, California, Pennsylvania, and the other, including their pride of their fleet. There are 2 battleships that are still trying to disengage, the Mississippi and the Colorado, and both are already pretty heavily damaged and are taking torpedo hits. And we'll see if they can make it out of there. 2 of them, and that is the end of the battle. Okay, let's have a look at the result. We have lost Japanese losses, 3 naval bombers, 1 fighter, and 3 tactical bombers that had also joined the fray. On the American side, they have lost 30 F4Fs and 36 F3F fighters. Once again, the zeros are reigning absolutely supreme over the American strike forces here. We've shot down 6 naval bombers. 42 destroyers have been sunk by our cruisers. They have lost 5 cruisers of their own and 10 battleships. That should be the end of the American force. The only thing that's remaining in the Pacific are the carriers, and we'll see if we can catch these as well and sink those. But I think that should be almost the end of the American presence here. We have sunk another convoy here. I'm just going to tick these off quickly. We're just going to tick these off quickly and see what we've done. There's more convoys sunk, and that hasn't worked out. That's just okay. I'm just going to ignore these because that's just all convoy raider battles. All right. Carrier Group 1. Some of our ships have taken some damage. So most of our heavy ships, the Soryu has some slight damage, but I think this is sorry, the Hiryu has some slight damage, but I think that is just due to wear. From the battle group, the Fuso and the Mutsu have taken some hits here. But let's see if we can. They have a long list of things that they have sunk. I'm not sure if we can see anything about the damage that they have taken. No, not really. We might be having to get them back into port for that. But let's observe if we are running very, very low on fuel because that massive strike group here is underway. But let's see if they can catch the remaining carriers, or if they have made it out. And could escape. So we'll just keep an eye on that. So they're currently holding position. They're detaching. Carrier Group 1 is moving in for repairs on the Carolines. So I think Yamamoto decided that he wants to go for the repairs. That is a bit unfortunate. I would have loved to have the. I'd have to catch these carriers. Can I tell him not to do that? Repair priority. Okay. Medium repair priority. Okay. Can we get you back to... Okay, hold position and stay on strike force. Because this is... Nope, they're still going. Okay. Don't repair for now. Let's see. Let's see what he's going to do. Okay, there's another battle. Oh, there we go. We caught them. Yes, that's what I was trying to do. Halsey has taken over, but his carriers have no screen. So Yamamoto's full force is coming in, and we're facing the Lexington, Enterprise, Ranger, and Yorktown. We've caught them in their escape. Their fighters have mostly been shot down by our Zeros, and I don't think they will make it out of there, to be honest. I think our destroyers are going to get some torpedo kills on these, because I don't see these 3 carriers getting out of there alive. They are already damaged from the previous battle. Only the Lexington is still in full strength. But Lexington already taking damage from the first torpedo strike in the air. The destroyers and screening forces are closing in. And Enterprise is being shot at by the heavies as well. So all our forces are engaging. Lexington has taken a critical hit. They are getting struck by torpedoes because they don't have any screening forces remaining. So and let's see. Have they been able to fight back? I'm not sure why Congo is disengaging. Because she should be in fine fighting shape. So same with these ships here. Some damage on the destroyers, but I don't think this is actually even battle damage from the. Some of our destroyers are in bad shape. That after these fights, but yeah, we're just here to sink these carriers. Enterprise is looking bad. She's taken a couple of heavy gun hits, and that is the first carrier sunk. The USS Ranger has actually been sunk by the Hiryu, and the aircraft have been evacuated to Australia, or to the Australian position. Enterprise is in bad shape, so is the Lexington. Critical hits by light guns, torpedoes. They're still getting the airstrikes from the Japanese carriers. And that's 3 American fleet carriers sunk. That just leaves the Yorktown. They are shooting down some, but that was it. That was the end of the battle. We have lost 2 naval bombers and 2 tactical bombers, but the Americans have lost 4 fleet carriers. They have our Zeros have shot down 3 naval bombers and 26 carrier fighters, all older models. A grand total of 1 naval bomber and 3 carrier fighters have managed to escape, and all that for the loss of some. So I would say Kantai-Kessen achieved. And on that bombshell, I think I'll end it for today, because that has been massive. Okay, Yamamoto needs to go for repair. So we're gonna take him off strike force. We're gonna let him repair in the Carolines, but I think we have now. Yeah, there are no more enemy ships in the Bismarck Sea. We have total naval supremacy. We have managed to catch both American strike groups, the 7th Task Force and the main battle group. So if we're looking at the state of the US Navy now, I don't think there is an awful lot left of it. They have 1 battleship, 1 carrier, 17 destroyers, 7 heavy cruisers, 9 light cruisers, and 4 submarines. I would say the US Navy has been decisively defeated, and the Pacific is ours, at least for the foreseeable future. Going forward, we will move our forces with impunity in the Pacific. We will reconstitute the strike forces into smaller groups, because we just don't have the fuel to operate this massive group, and the Kantai-Kessen is no longer necessary. We might start once we have secured. I want to secure the Pacific first. So I want to secure these islands. I want to secure the island positions first, and then we will start taking on the British in the Indian Ocean if they're still operating anywhere. And we can secure both of these lines. But yes, that has been the decisive battle that the Japanese Empire has been planning for. Yamamoto's ruse has worked. We have managed to lure them out of port, and then they have made the fatal mistake of underestimating how strong Yamamoto's force really was after the first battle, in which they had taken catastrophic damage. They might not even have known at the time. And in rapid succession, we have managed to take out the remnants both of the 7th Force and of the main American battle fleet, and as such have taken the victory for the Japanese Empire in the Pacific. That's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.